Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Well, yesterday was a firm day in the marketplace. The interest rates kind of sat around. And now the bigger question, again, as we talked about yesterday, is trying to get a feel for the inflation. I think that's exactly what we're really staring at. And the stock market, as I've been, I guess, beating the drum, I guess you could say, saying that what we're really hearing is that money managers say it's time to do risk. And obviously you can see it. The markets find a way to go down, and then they find a way to turn right back up again. So that's kind of the definition of finding risk, that's for sure. Definitely is. Let's see, just got something there. Let me go take a look at, where is it at? There it is. Let's go check out the chat line and see where we're at with the chat line. And as you can see there, dollar index, has been backing off the last couple days. Let's see what we have here. Let's get I realized I didn't start that. Let's start that. There we go. So there we are. And let's get over to the dollar index. Let's go right there on Chicago Quant. Let's see right there. There's it. There's that. And let me check the chat line at the same time. Let me also listen to make sure I hear me. Sounds like it. Yes. Yep. So all good. And let's go check out. Let's get over to the. What do I want to get to again? I want to get to the. There it is, right there. Okay, here's the PCE headline: July personal spending. So up 0.8% actual versus 0.7%. So it. Okay, so the number's not scaring anybody particular at the moment. Let's put it that way. Let's see. New Zealand and Euro both show daily buy and weekly buy. So I entered a long trade there. Is this okay? Let's take a look and see. It should be okay. And then what's your target? Do you have a particular target? Let's get over there. There. There's the AZD. You're buying it today? Remember, we've been in the buy from the, where's it at? It's the 64.880 basically area, 64.80, and today it's trading at 64.91. Okay, and then yesterday's high was 65.22. Did you buy it today, or did you buy it yesterday, or when did you buy it? We went into the buy on the 29th. Today's the 31st. So let's just check that too at the same time. Darn, forgot to set the notification for the stream. We'll pop in 5 minutes. Okay, no particular target. Bought where's it at? Bought them on J4X. Okay, about 2 hours ago. All right. Well, the real buy was 2 days ago, and then yesterday, I guess if you'd have bought it somewhere yesterday. I mean, obviously, imagine if you bought it at 65.22 yesterday. No winner going on there, but if it closed in a buy at 64.80.05. So you wanted to try to buy it around there. So did you pay 60? Let's see, the low is 64.63. So that's all right. Did you buy that at 64.63? Let me go to the short term. See what we can find there. There's the yen we were looking at on a let's go with a half hourly since it's 2 hours ago. Format. Let's go with 30 minutes. And let's go back 3 days, 4 days. I don't know. 4 days. How's that? Let's make it 5 days. Like that. Oh, I put the yen in there. Let's put the AUD in there. AUD. There's that. Okay, so there you are. Well, 2 hours ago, looks like you bought it in the 63s, so that's good. Obviously, take half of it off, take some profits instantly. We'll pop in 5. And see, Mountain West, NZD, USD, Euro, both showing daily buy. Oh, NZD. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go look at the NZD. NZD, USD right there. Let's go to the daily chart too. Looks like it's doing the same thing as the AUD. And there it is right there. That's been in a buy. Again, okay, so it went into the buy at 59.67 on Wednesday. And so it's doing basically the same thing. So, and looking at the half hourly right here, looks like you picked it up in, say, the 59.40s, something like that. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I meant buy on a fast and slow stochastic. Darn, forgot to set the notification stream. We'll pop 5 minutes. Mountain, no particular target. Bought them on Forex. Bought 2 hours ago. I bought them 2 days ago too. Okay, well then, take some profits. Put some stops in, and make sure you guarantee a win out of it all. Does that make sense to you? What was the other one? Other one was Euro. Oh, Euro. Oh, what did I do there? I was reaching for my tea. Let's see. Okay, there we are. Let's go take a look at the Euro. Yeah, I think the Euro is in the same boat also. There's the Euro right there. Oh, you're not seeing anything I'm pointing at. Darn it. There you go. There's the Euro. But the Euro got sold down. It went into the buy 2 days ago also. And the thing is that they're pushing it a little bit more down than the other two products. And then obviously if we go put the Euro in the half hourly, let's see what that looks like. EUR. There we are. Well, 2 hours ago it's a winner, that's for sure. So that's good. Seems right to me. Yeah, so you should be doing fine. I can see that 2 days ago we're trading now down below it. Did you take any profits when it ran up from like the 187 area, something like that? What was it 108.80? Is that 108.80, right? So you bought it in the 108.80 area. It ran to the 109.50 area. Did you take some profits on some of it there and then buy more when it was down a couple hours ago? And or how did it work? What was your strategy? In other words, what was the you got to have a plan. In other words, you said that you didn't really have. What was I saying? I asked you strategy. I meant buy on fast, slow stuff. See. No particular target. Bought them on J4X. Okay, well, the first target should always be a profit. And then the back and fill, I imagine, you bought it a couple hours ago because it was, back down to, well, it was even lower than the Wednesday close. Was that the logic to buy there? Tops out for the day. Do you use a stop for intraday trading? Or overnight trading? tops out for the day? That's the biggest question is how do you define topping out for the day? I don't. All I do is follow the trends more. So in other words, when it trends changes and starts to head down, I start definitely taking more profits. At the same time, what supersedes that, in other words, what dominates that even more is that where I got in, I make sure that I get some profits out of it automatically and then risk the profits at most. And not even then, because I still set them at try to set them at a higher price. Because you can always buy back in again. Yes, lower than Wednesday's close, so I get a decent entry. Don't use stops. I have been up for hours. Okay. So, all right, well, I hope I made some of that make sense. What else can we say about any of that? I hope. Okay, good. But think about what I said. That you wanna have some real clarity in your head about not giving away too much of the action. Oh, okay, so now from there. Where do we go from there? Let's go back to the dollar index, I guess, right? All right, so the dollar index you can see there, and let's put it up over here. There it is right there. Oh, yeah, we have it up on there. You see that? It's actually lifting up for the day right now. We've fallen, I guess, like almost a full handle and more. It made a high of 104.38. And we've made a low now yesterday at 102.85. So that's pretty good, 1.5 handle. And now we're back to about a 50% retracement of that on the upside. Still in a daily sell. The weekly seems to be holding up pretty comfortably. The fast is not breaking down there. You can see that. Over here on J4X, you see basically the same situation on the daily. It's in the sell. You can see the fast is trading at 23. The slow at 38, so you can see that pressure. Let's jump on the weekly over there. And there's the weekly jumping up. And you can see the weekly's at 86. And the slow is at 89. All right, so it's trying to break down also, just the way we're seeing it here. But they're not below the zero line yet, whereas on J4X it's showing that pressure there. Wow, what do I got? A little tickle in the old throat. I think markets are waiting until Friday. Yeah, they have the employment number. Excuse me. Yeah, with that employment number, look, they're looking for any evidence. July core price PCE price index up 2/10. Okay, so that was estimated and actual. I'm trying to see. Is there any? Dan Niles was talking about it right now. He's trying to. I'm not sure what he's saying. Niles found. Let's see. Inflation edges up in July. Spending spikes. Okay, so that's. See, he's looking for the same thing as I'm talking about. Inflation up 3.3 annually in July, matching forecast. Okay, so it wasn't anything surprise, but it was definitely higher. Huh. Okay, so with personal spending up 0.8%, it's the largest increase since January. That's starting. I can see the stock market backing off a little bit. The Nasdaq even more, but we'll see. Okay, so I think they're start. Oh no, he's suggesting he's going to lighten up a little bit. Okay, so they're looking for pressure in the market going into September and October. I think that's a biggie right there. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Uh, I still believe that it's going to be a battle between money managers that have more money than they should have. In other words, they're too liquid. And so they're going to be forced to step in. I don't really have, there's not much more than that at this point. Let me take a piece of gum. Got some tickle going on there. Yeah, it's we're really stuck in a situation where there's a lot of money. They've created a lot of cash out there. Inflation is storming along, and here we are at this kind of like pause with the inflation, and that is starting to, I guess you could say, it's starting to fail. The pause is starting. Excuse me, something's got me. And the pause of inflation is turning around and starting to get firmer again. And that's what we've been talking about here for a couple of weeks. We want to keep an eye on that because there may be sell. It's hard to believe that they're going to sell some of this strength, but they may. We'll see. Tomorrow's number could be the catalyst to start it up if they start selling it down more. I mean, if the numbers don't match up with the job numbers tomorrow, that will have some real effect. We'll start to feel it. So, and that's where we're at. I don't think I can speculate any more than what I've already tried to speculate on. Now, where do we go from here? Let's go over. We just saw the euro. I'm answering a text too at the same time. What? Let's see. Let's just go like that. Makes a market. For every buyer, there is a seller. For every buyer, there's a seller. And for every seller, there's a buyer. So it's it just comes down to it all comes down to the who is dominating at the time. Well, it's just all part of the game of it all. All right. From there, let's go over and take a look at the euro. We did take a look at it a little while ago, and you can see here. Oh, that's the S&P 500. Right there. There's the euro. And that's kind of made an interesting dip here this morning. We'll see how long that lasts. Would like to see the weekly get going, and it's not really. We're not seeing the strength in that weekly. Oh, there we go. Mountain West says, Mountain West, thank you. I think markets are waiting until Friday. Let's see. NASDAQ shows double top. Yeah, it's showing more weakness than the ABC pattern after that index indicates sell. Yeah, I agree with you. Markets could go down starting next month. Giacomo says, are there any issues on your deposits? Cards and scroll do not work. Looking forward to learn something new in this session. Cool. No, I don't know anything about the deposits or the. I can, refer you over to Janos. He can send you over to what do you call it? An official to deal with that stuff with deposits and so forth. So, let's see. Yeah, call your account manager. There you go. Cool, Giannis. Thank you. All right, from there, but to learn something here, we look at the markets through technical analysis, through our algorithm, and the one we have set up on the J4X platform there, and we talk about, just making basically more solid trades. We try to take winning trades, trades that have a high percentage of success. That's what we aim at. We don't trade the trade. We trade to when the math and everything is aiming in the right direction. So maybe that's something when you say looking forward to learn something in the new session here. That's a good way of doing it. And so that's part of the situation. Giacomo, what the hell? I'm getting text. Someone is totally into gold and they're texting the daylights out of me on it. There we go. All right. So from there, we take a look at the euro up on the same J4X. Let's see if this is going to be really a higher low. You can see there's like 3 of them in a row right there over the last couple quarters. And seems like we're doing that, and they made higher highs. And I would imagine somewhere along the line we're going to see the euro is in a weekly sell now in our work. So we're waiting to see if this is going to get back into a buy and start to turn back up again. Let's see. Yano says something might be stuck at the compliance. They have access to all that. He says Gianna says US 500 looks like touching yesterday's highs and support. It's gotten through that already. So it went through yesterday's highs. Let's just show you that real quick. Here's the intraday chart. Yeah, yesterday's high was right there, I believe, at 4,530, basically 31. And now today's high is 4,541. So, yeah, it's definitely higher. And you can see it's holding on with the internal math. It's in a buy throughout this whole move since right here. Right there. Off that line. It went into the intraday buy. And it had a nice little ride. It's been going on for hours, too. When we go and look at the S&P 500 itself, right there, it's holding up very well. It's in a daily buy going on a 5th day, right there. We had a green and a red on a daily. You honor that. Intraday, you don't pay attention to it. And then you can see here it's been in the weekly sell. And you can see the fast is trying to get through. And you can see it's the same thing over here on the J4X. There is the same thing on J4X with the S&P, trying to get some strength in there. And the lines, the fastest is at 37 and the slow is at 31. So you're seeing that pressure there. If this is a place to discuss such topics, which is your view on the imminent collapse of the U.S. and the dollar? I don't see any collapse on the U.S. I see weakness in the dollar. I think it's overbought. It's overvalued. But for every buyer, there's a seller. And right now, there is no strong currency to run to from the dollar. So I don't see any collapse in the currency itself. So let's see. Giacomo. Am I saying your name right, Giacomo, or should I just call you GV? I can call you GV. Given the current U.S. economic situation, the social fractures, rising militias. No, there's no rising militias. You don't have to worry about that. In the country, BRIC alliance and its new currency and incoming U.S. elections. Oh, what's the opinion on that? The elections will clean things up. There's no real militant thing going on. You don't have to worry about that. BRICS, unfortunately, don't. When Mexico chose not to join the BRICS, that was really that really hurt because that would have been the strongest currency in the BRICS, and the five majors of the BRICS right now, like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The strongest currency in there now is South African rand. The China has almost no currency. The Indians and the Russians have a currency that's about 100 to 1 to the dollar. And Brazil is kind of in the same situation. Their currency is not very strong, and they're in very weak situation. I found a way to get some quotes on it. Let me show you. It's very hard to get quotes on the Brazilian real, but I can get a futures quote on it. Let's open that up, and we can show you on our new platform that we're working on. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. Okay, there we go. And let's put it up there. Home. Log in. There we go. Submit. All right, now let's put the Brazilian real up there. It's the futures contract we can get. That's the only thing. There seems to be no real spot to be able to trade. So we're following the Brazilian real through through our new platform, and nobody really follows it. We can't even get it on Dukascopy. At least I can't figure out how to get it on Dukascopy, and Janos hasn't. Let's see. Janos says, and where would all the funds then go, if not the dollar? Right, U.S. We have seen that all minor crashes during this recession have resulted in a run towards the dollar, not away from it. Right, exactly. And so that's the problem, unfortunately, and I say that with all sincerity. Unfortunately, after 2008, the financial markets have, let's see. Unfortunately, there's no real strong currencies. That's the problem. In other words, as bad as the United States is financially, the rest of the world is even worse. And so it really makes it tough. And so, and if you're paying attention to U.S. media, forget about that. They're not going to. They're pretty much controlled by they're owned, not controlled. They're owned by the different Democrat organizations. So the Democrat Party. So you're not going to get a clean expression out of them. That's the problem. And that's really a problem because we need media. That's how the country's really, our country in particular, works with free speech, and that's one of them. And so, anyhow, that's where we're at. There's nowhere to run to. Now, I can say this. You can go to the metals complex. Oh, here, let me show you the Brazilian real on the futures contract too. Let's just turn that on. Right there. There we are. And so there's the Brazilian real. It's been in a daily buy for a couple days. It's climbing into a weekly buy, which is impressive. This is the Brazilian real against the dollar. So we're actually seeing a little strength in here at the moment. It's trading at 0.205. The highs have been like about 0.215. Did Mexico put out of BRICS? It was offered. What happened was that the president of Mexico about 5 months ago said they wanted to join the BRICS. 5-6 months ago, something like that. So we started assuming that they were, easily going to be accepted. There's no problem there because they're one of the largest oil producers in the world. They produce somewhere around 4 or 5 million barrels a day. Even with the cutbacks that they've done, they still have the capacity to pump like 4 or 5 million barrels a day. They may only be pumping, say, 3.5 or something like that. That's pretty good. And so another major oil player would have been very impressive. But what's really impressive about Mexico was their currency is very strong. It's a really good, solid currency. So that would have been Mexican peso would have been the number one brick instantly if they were going to join. And then they had the conference last week in South Africa, and what did they do? They basically said, no thank you, we don't want to join. Now they put a list out about who is joining, I guess you could call it, but they're not really joining. They've been invited. Okay, so they've invited. I have the list right here. I'm starting to put it together. I'm not put it together. I'm looking for it. Okay, in January, BRICS, originally established in 2009, the world's strongest emerging market economies, will add in January, I guess it is, Argentina, which is basically bankrupt, Egypt, which is barely functional, Ethiopia. I don't know much about Ethiopian. I don't know anything much about the Ethiopian economy, so I can't say anything about that. The Iranian economy is pretty much upside down, not good at all. The Saudi Arabian economy is way powerful, and so is the United Arab Emirates. Now, they have not. These countries have not made clear what they're going to do. In other words, is Saudi Arabia going to, in other words, some people hear that and they think, okay, Saudi Arabia is going to help them out. Saudi Arabia has made it very clear they're interested in just selling oil. And they said that basically they'll sell oil to anybody with any currency. They don't really care. But they base the price of their oil off the dollar. And they said they're not changing that. So I don't understand when the media talks about the BRICS, why they act like as if that's going to have an effect. In other words, I'll give you an example, GV. Back in, I guess it was, let's see, I doubt here, there's Janos too. I doubt that there will be anything noteworthy there after China published maps in which they claim Russia and Indian territory. Yeah, really, it shows how they all have their own interests that disregard the rest of the participants. Yeah, I totally agree. So, Saudi Arabia sold oil to China in Chinese yuan, their convertible unit, whatever they call that. Everybody tries to treat it like a currency, but it's not really a currency. It only trades a couple of percentage points a day in world markets, so it's not. It's under 3% of trading during a day. So it's really not like a currency. And so it doesn't float. So where am I at here? So end result is that they bought the Chinese bought oil with Chinese yuan. It was like 5 million barrels. Then the Saudis took the Chinese yuan and went to Shanghai in China the next day. And there's a gold exchange. There's a metals exchange in Shanghai. And it was opened in 2012. They converted their Chinese yuan into gold at the exchange there, and then took the gold home. So in essence, China bought oil with gold. And that just tells, in other words, they didn't go home with the Chinese yuan and sat there, and put it in a bank account. They turned around and converted it instantly into gold. So I don't know how to get excited about that. You know what I mean? In other words, when I follow the BRICS, I don't see that, I don't see the positive there. Yeah, even the Chinese don't even want the yuan. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Chinese exports using currency swaps to retain dollars as yuan sags. Yeah, I mean, just overall, I would be, I would be nervous because, in many ways, China looks like the CCCP, the Soviet Union of the late 1980s. They look like they've peaked out economically. And that's not a good thing because one day you wake up. I mean, one day for a long while the ruble was $4, 4 to the dollar. There were 4 to the dollar, and all of a sudden they're 9 to the dollar out of nowhere. Okay, and then they're like 13 to the dollar within that year. So, are we going to see a 21 or a 22 Chinese yuan to the dollar out of nowhere over the next 2 or 3 years? You know what I'm saying? That's why no one wants to hold on to the yuan, which they need a powerful currency to make the BRICS work to start off with. In other words, they're claiming that they're going to. I know this is a long conversation about the BRICS, but it emphasizes the nature of trading in general. That's why I'm willing to have this conversation about it all. GV says it could be as well as. Well, a move to accumulate dollars and then dump it in these upcoming months ahead. No, I don't think so. No, it wouldn't matter. I mean, the stability of the dollar is pretty firm. So it's, they don't have enough. Let's put it this way. China has the second largest amount of foreign investment in bonds in the United States. It's a little under $1 trillion. Japan is number one. They have like a 1.1 trillion. And then, it kind of streams down. And the biggest holder of U.S. bonds are American citizens. They have a little under 50% of them all. So those mechanics they're not like a scary statistic, But if the Chinese were really going to walk away from the dollar, they would sell their $1 trillion of bonds. And right now they're buying bonds. They're not selling them anymore. So, I don't see any evidence, and I don't see any benefit of the buying of the bonds right now, to go sell them later. They don't buy enough to push the market around. That's the problem. So, and that's why I'm emphasizing in the end result is that if the BRICS were going to get going, they need to be able to have a convertible currency that people trust. And they always say they're going to back it with gold or oil. And that would be a good idea. But the thing is, it has to be exercisable. So in other words, if you're backing that currency with gold or oil, people will buy it, and more than likely, for the time being, they'll probably exercise it, which will defeat the purpose of what the BRICS really want to do is they want to have their own paper currency so they can print a lot of it. And they want to knock out the dollar by doing that. And that's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. Markets don't work that way. So I think that's what I'm trying to get across. All right. Recent rules laxing of Chinese equity markets forcing banks to dump dollars indicate to me that they are doing it now. Okay. And the falling measurable and failing miserably. Right. Exactly. That's the way I see it. What else can we say about any of this at this point? What else can I say about any of it, really? There's not much more to be said. And that's, I guess, let me re-emphasize that one more time, because I like the way it sounded in my head. And that was, what the BRICS want to do is they want to be able to print paper money, but they want to claim that it's backed by oil or gold. And the only way for it to work is it has to be exercisable. and they're not going to do that. And so it kind of defeats the whole purpose. Maybe look at stocks. Let's take a look at Tesla, Google, and Apple. Okay. On my watch list. Sure. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see. Which one was it first? It was Tesla, Google, and Apple. Okay. There we go. You know what? I should do it the other way around. I open this up, but I think I'd rather do this. Let me just because I don't think Apple's in here. I think the only one that's in there is Google. There's Google. And let me just copy this and go open up the other thing. Close. Yes. Let's move it over to here. And let's do this at the same time. Open this one up. This will make more sense to me. That stock one. And then, so there is Apple. And you can see in the pre-market, it's pretty much unchanged. It's showing strength. It's been in a buy for a couple of days now. And we should have a little green line in there for you. Let's see, it went into the buy there. And then it went into that sell there. Where did it go into the sell? Right there. And it went right back into the buy the next day. There we are. But it's in a weekly sell still. Now today, it's the fast is moving up, but the green line is below at the moment there. So we're really looking for some strength to try to kick out there. You can see that it's been in the daily buy for a couple of days, but again, whoa, not that. Wrong one there. There we are. There's the green right there. So, there's Apple. I'd like to see it get into the weekly, and it's climbing nicely, and it's probably doing like a 50%. I would imagine just a quick look at it, just looking at it this way with the Fibonacci. You can see there, it's breaching the 50 percentile right there. And yesterday it closed above it, and so it might go to the 618, which is that golden line right there. Now, let's go over to where is it at? It was a Google, you said, right? There's Google. Google's the same way with 3 days in a buy right there, and it's in a weekly buy. It's been in a weekly buy since here. Google's been much better. And there was a lot of concern with the Chinese investments with Apple. So we've been in a weekly buy since back in here in the 117, 18 area, something like that. The daily, the first daily buy was a good winner, right there. Let's make that green. And the default. There we are. And then the second buy was right there, and that was a loser, so we actually lost on that one. And then the third buy was right there, and that was, I guess it was barely a winner. It was very slim or a little small loss. That's 2 in a row, so that means the third one's going to be hot and heavy. And there's the third one right there, and that made all the money up for whatever these two did, or this one and this one, let's put it that way. And obviously this one made a nice move out of it, so it made up for the other two. And then we're in another buy now. So overall, the last 5 buys have been definitely 1 loss, 3 wins, and 1 maybe break even or a little loss, something like that out of the 5 since we've been in the weekly buy here. So there is the Google. Let's save that. In case we go back and look at it, that's part of your watch list. What was the other one? Tesla, right? We need to fix that. Let's make these thicker or something. No, you know what? I have one. Let me go find that again. I have a Tesla chart. I want to open that workspace up and replace it with that. Right there. Alright, now what do we got here? There is, let's find Tesla in there. There's Tesla. Yeah, see, that's better. It's bigger and brighter. Now let's copy that, close that, get rid of it, and let's go over to this one right here and get rid of let's just do this for the time being. Paste it in. See, that's clearer and better. So it went into the weekly sell back in here in the 280 area, and it's been in the sell. So every sell has been, the first one was pretty good. The second one was not that, well, if it was done in an option position, it was a winner. But if it's done with the stock itself, it wasn't very good. This one was the same way. That's a loss there, so that's just like 2 and 2. There's a sell here that was a winner going into the next day with no problem. It dropped about $15. This one here, what is it at? It's right there really. This one here, same thing, was a pretty good winner. It broke down to here, so that was like an $8 winner. This one here is a $22 winner, and this one here was a loser. And now we're still flirting with the weekly, and we've been in the daily buy from here with the green and the red. Kept it into the buy, and it's going up about $25 from that buy, but we're not taking it because we're in a weekly sell. So you can see the pressure on it. Now, when we say these things, what we're talking about is marrying together binary options with a underlying product, a stock or something like that, or a commodity or a forex, and doing things on a much longer term basis. So let's see, Chinese, let me see what Yano said. US dollar accumulated, recent rules. Okay, Apple. Okay, on my watch list, dollar recovers after the double bottom. Oh, just now? New dollar DX is highs. So algo should dump equities today. Well, the stock market seems to be slowly drifting into the minus side. What else can we say about that? I don't really have much more of an opinion, but we can keep on kicking it around. But here, and I think what I'll do is I will keep. Let's do this. Let's widen. This currency in particular has been really choppy. It protected you in the sense that we went into the sell here and we get into a buy there. Somewhere along the line, you want to take profits. Obviously, that's the whole idea of things. We're always telling people, take profits. Take profits, you can't lose if you keep on taking profits. In this case here, it's telling you not to be short here, and it does. It kind of lifts up a little bit, about $10. And then we get into a sell here, and it swings the wrong way. You give up $10. But then, you made, like 25, 30 here, and you made the same thing somewhere back in here. This one was a good little ride, and this one here wasn't bad. So, I guess that's the best way to describe it. Yo ho ho.
Yeah, what do you mean, LOL? I want to fight, bitch.
Nah, and I'm in the middle of a webinar. I do a webinar every day. I'll be done in another 5-6 minutes, and then I'll give you a good smacking.
Right,
say hello to the world. Say hello to the world.
Yeah, tell them we're going to the gold standard to a state banking system.
The world just heard you say that. That's all right. Let me finish my webinar, and I'll call you back and torture you.
Goodbye.
All right, so that's. I got currency people coming at me in all kinds of directions. All right, yeah. So Tesla's It's interesting. Tesla's a real noisy thing. And, Janos, I want to show you something that I found very interesting. There's a, let me get rid of this one. Is that pretty much the same? That's a 3, and what is this? This is a 3.5. And let me go look at the other one. See if it's a 3 and a 3.5. Yeah, it's a 3 and a 3.5. So that's good. I'm going to keep that. All right, now let me get rid of. Let me show you another tool. There's another Tesla I've been following, which is really interesting. It's a option fund, and I think it has like a return. Maybe something. It's very cheap. It's well worth paying attention to. Where do I have it? I know where I have it. Let's save this. And we'll close. Let's see. Let me save this. Save workspace. As done. Yes. And let's close that. All right. Now let's go over to here and check this out. It's called TSLA. TSLY, and it's an interesting thing. It's trading in the $14, $15 area, but percentage-wise, it gains just as much or loses just as much with the Tesla stock. Here it comes. Right here. No, that's not it. Where's it at? It's not there. Where the hell did it go? I just saw it, too. Oh, I know. Here it is, right here. Here it is. No, where'd it go? TSLY. I saw it. It's on one of these screens here. Okay. Oh, here it is. Maybe this is it. Nope, not there. Let's try this one. Here we go. I think it has it on this one. No, it's not there either. It's somewhere around here somewhere. It's not here. I'm confused. It's TSLY. I saw it. It's around here somewhere. Let me think. What did I... Oh, I know where it's at. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. And this is TSLY. I have it with my commodities, animal commodities. There it is. TSLY. Here we go. This is it right here. And let's make that darker too, like that. And then we'll fix this. Make that white, like that. There we are. And you can see here, I mean, it bounced off the $13 area. It's up to $14.60. It's an interesting product. It's a very interesting product. Let's see if we can change that color background. Maybe I should stay with the gray. Format the window. All right, I'll leave it like that for the time being. And you can see here, it's a very interesting product. It topped out in the $18 area when Tesla was like $290 and change. It's a very interesting product to pay attention to. You should look it up. It's TS. Let me put it up on the screen too. It's TSLY. That's the symbol on it. There we are. TSLY. Okay, so see what Yana says. You showed it yesterday. I found it strange. Do not look into it. Did not look into it more. Yeah, the TSLY. Yeah, I find it interesting. I haven't started trading it yet, but I'm thinking about playing with it the next time we get into a weekly buy in Tesla. I'm buying this. It's not an option. It's a fund, and I guess they're selling premium. They're doing something. They're doing something that I think they actually get a return on money. It may be where they buy the stock and sell the call. It may be buy rights they're doing. I don't know, something like that. But I can tell you this, I double checked it, and it follows the pattern of Tesla. It's really interesting. Very interesting product. So, all right, well, it's time to get out of here, and I'm going to go have a currency fight on the phone with somebody. So, this is Doc from North America. What should we call today? Today's title, this should be like, dollar keeps, they keep buying the dollar even at weak times, something like that. It's going to be, I'm going to name this about the dollar. I'll have a title for it in a few minutes. All right, so this is Doc from North America. See us tomorrow on Friday, TGIF. Thank goodness it's going to be Friday. So, everybody, happy trails to you. And GV, thank you for coming in. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Have a good day, traders. Be safe, be smart. Ta-ta for now.